Well, hello everybody. We're back again, Mr. Chestnut and I, to talk to you about another aspect of Fairmont life. Today we're going to be just kidding around. That's the title that we're going to use. Uh, One of the most important groups in our town are young people.
Yes.
Seniors too, of course. The rest of us in the middle, we can pretty well take care of ourselves
That's right.
some of the time. But the young people, we need to have help for them. And back in the day, when I first started teaching at Fairmont in 1970, my dear friend Charles Williamson, who lives in Wilmington now, is a carpentry teacher. He and I got together and formed a partnership, so to speak, and we found a building on Thompson Street, which is currently unused, and over the years it has been used. But we put together a plan, and he did all the carpentry work, and I was real close with the class of 1974, and at that time they were freshmen. And so we put together a youth center, the only youth center, technically, that's ever been in the history of the town of Fairmont at this time. And so we had a wonderful time. We had a ping pong table in there, a pool table, where you put a quarter in the slot, push the thing in, and a jukebox. And in the back room, we had a couch and chairs and TV. And kids came up there all the time. It was wonderful. It really was. We after school, of course, and then on the weekends. And then in 1973, I had an opportunity to become recreation director for the town of Fairmont, summer recreation director, from August till, from May till August. And I took that job. And so I did that for 10 years. And so recreation kind of fizzled out after that. Uh, we really need to focus on, and I'm sure that you, if you're watching this, live in another town, you have wonderful recreational facilities. I'm sure you do. You may have a bigger town, more money, more population. You may have all kind of youth centers and community centers and boys and girls clubs and that kind of thing. We don't have that. We have summer recreation assisted by the county and our recreation director, Mr. Mickey Williamson. But we've never really had a facility where young people can go to and enjoy themselves. And that's part of what we're going to talk about today. Mr. Chestnut is going to step in and talk about. I want to give you a little bit of background. We've had recreation here. We've had summer recreation. We had big numbers. We were with the town of Fairmont, and then the county absorbed us. And for the last 5 or 6 years of my tenure there, I had to stop in '82 because my good friend Kirk Nobles was a bodybuilder and a power lifter, and he said, let's go into business. So we opened up a fitness center in downtown Fairmont. But for those 10 years, we had a wonderful summer recreational output. And now Fairmont is kind of in a state of flux. We're in between what we used to have and where we need to go.
Yes, sir.
And so money is the big deal, folks. You know that as well as I do. In your own personal budgets, governments need money. So Mr. Chestnut's going to step in here and we're going to talk a little bit. He is going to talk a little bit about where we are right now with the youth and where we need to go.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor and all the listeners out there, like you started off, our youth is the most important part when we're considering what we're doing for the future. Everyone else is also important, but when it comes to growing the community, your youth has to be number one priority. So you have done a couple of great things over the past couple of years I've been here. Establishing a youth council, supporting our youth in the pageantry for the Farmers Festival, establishing the Golden Ambassadors, which is probably one of the best things I've seen in a while, involving youth and spotlighting them. Um, but for the citizens here that are listening to this conversation, know that for the future of Fairmont, we hold the youth as a number one priority because we've been told multiple things. Youth leave and youth don't come back. Youth aren't happy because there's nothing to do here.
Right.
But it goes back to the expectations and the abilities of what you can actually provide for your youth here in the town of Fairmont. A youth center is very expensive. Staffing is very expensive. The liability and insurance for youth facilities is expensive. Uniforms and I can go on and on about the expenses. This is why we have to grow our town. This is why we have to do these things to move the town forward. What I can tell everyone, and you already know this, is our board of commissioners is going after every avenue out there to establish a youth center for our youth in this town. My guidance and my recommendation is that we move forward with continuing to move towards a youth center for the town of Fairmont and put things in place where we know what the kids want to do here in Fairmont. You've done a lot of research, you've done a couple of youth summits. We have a listing of everything our youth want in that facility. So I think here over the next couple of months, you're going to go back to the schools and re-energize that conversation about what the kids want to see in that facility so we can put some plans on paper and move towards constructing that facility for the future.
Yeah, I intend to go to every school in Fairmont, all 3 schools, and personally hand out the papers or the index cards for the kids to write down 5 things that they want to see in their youth center.
Most definitely.
I will take the cards up. If it takes me all day long, it doesn't matter. And I will bring them back, and we'll get some staff people to take out all the duplicates.
Most
And
definitely.
then we will have something that the architects or the engineers or the planners will know, you know, you don't need this room because nobody wants anything that room would be useful
That's
for.
right.
That way, we did the same thing with the library when we were looking at the video machinery, the computers and all of the
Correct.
games that went on that. So if you want a youth center, who else better to ask what you want in it than the youth?
That's right. That's right.
I don't know what
That's
should
right.
go in it. I'm
That's
not going
right.
to go in it. You aren't going to go in it
That's
except
right.
to maybe supervise somebody. What we need is what the youth want in it.
That's right. That's right. And that's what we're moving towards as we look at the construction of our town, at our new town hall.
Yeah.
Over the next 12 months, I'm certain that a youth component will be a part of that with a facility and activities for them to do. And as we move forward to that day, you know, it'll be full transparency because we're not going to build something that no one's going to attend.
That would be really stupid.
Yeah, and we're going to make sure it's inclusive of everyone and the kids' abilities to do things. You know, every kid out there isn't a 3-sport athlete, you know. So we have, you know, some kids that we have to make sure that we provide activities for them to use. But I look forward to this.
See, the thing that a lot of people don't know, if you live in Fairmont, you would know, the property that we have decided on, the board has, for the new town hall is less than, you could throw a baseball.
Yes.
We have a pretty decent arm. I could at one time, I'm sure. You could throw a baseball from the middle school, Fairmont Middle School, to the property where the
Yes, sir.
the new community buildings, the new town hall's going to be, and possibly the youth center as well.
Yes, sir.
And it's just as almost as equally distant from the Rosenwald, from the elementary school. So kids could walk down the
Yes, sir.
street.
Yes,
And
sir.
then have their parents pick them up at 5 o'clock.
Yes,
They
sir.
could spend a couple
And the
hours.
parents could join them.
Absolutely.
Parents could, you know, hopefully we'll have benches in place where, you know, there always be supervision there at the youth center. And parents can, you know, drop the kids off there, come into downtown, visit our stores, visit our restaurant, go get their nails done, go get their hair done. We have those facilities downtown. We also have the newly renovated library. We have the museum downtown. There'll be plenty of things for kids to do and be involved in.
I don't know how much longer we're going to do these videos. I enjoy doing them. I know Mr. Chestnut does, but I want
Yes.
you to take a good look at the gentleman that's sitting beside me in the blue coat, blue shirt, excuse me. Because if we don't get a youth center,
Beat me up.
He will not be sitting there.
We're gonna get it, and we're gonna
Yeah.
make it happen for the youth, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you so much, and thank y'all for listening. And we're going to continue to try to keep alerting you and enlivening you with a little humor thrown in from time to time about the great things that are going on in Fairmont, North Carolina. Not Fairmont, Minnesota,
That's right.
or Fairmont, California. Fairmont, North Carolina.
That's right.
So if you tune into YouTube, you talk here in Fairmont. This is us,
Yes.
Fairmont, North Carolina.
Yes.
Thank you again.